Join Debunkers Anonymous on Facebook, and your post will wind up in a video.
Vladimir Impaler, stop right there!
You do know I'm not a vampire, right?
I'll stop you with me holy water.
Holy water works on vampires. Stop it. Stop. Don't do it again. Okay. Idiota.
Hey everybody, it's the Shape back to another video. Check out the glowing masks. Isn't that just flat out awesome? I'm tweaking the background slowly. I'm going to get it perfect. It's going to look good. But yeah, what is that? What's that? Is it a bird? No. Is it a plane? No. It's going to be demonetization because this video will be copyright claimed by Cater Media and Really Haunted. That being said, a lot of people requested a video on them, so money or no money, let's do this. Before we jump into Really Not Haunted, there's this TikTok channel called Wade Lanigan, and he's one of those TikTokers that, you know, this being, these spirits and demons and all this are attacking my family and all this stuff. Got his kids. I think we did a video in the past on him where he grabbed his son that was in the bed. Something was opening doors and all that, and we debunked it. But I saw something pretty outstanding. I was like, yeah, I gotta at least do this one TikTok. So let's take a look at it.
I haven't even had this camera set up a day and already caught paranormal activity. I hate this creepy AF haunted, spooky ghoul and...
Did you catch it? If you look closely into the mirror that they keep circling with that red circle, you know, in case you don't see it over and over and over, there is the ghost of what either is a cowboy or a prospector or something. Just walks right by the mirror. Can't see it on this side of the mirror, but you can see it in the mirror. And you can definitely get some details when you zoom in. But I noticed what this is either like, he went on Google and Googled old black and white picture. Found an old cowboy or old miner or prospector or whatever. Screenshot it, cut it out, and did his magic. But the problem is when you zoom in, there's a teeny little problem. And that's what we're going to do right now. Oh, there will be a secret word in this video. No, I won't forget it. Shut your mouth. I haven't said that in a while. Let's start by looking at the top of the mirror as the figure goes by. You see that? That is a bad masking job. Let's look one more time. Look at the top right there. Yep, we can definitely tell this guy did a poor mask job. And the reason is when the figure is walking by the mirror, at the top of the mirror, it's cutting off the top of his hat. Shouldn't be that way. And the reason it is because when it was masked, he didn't do the mirror completely perfect. It's easy to do rectangle mirrors, but when you're dealing with circles, you gotta pay a bit more attention to it. Granted, he probably wouldn't think somebody is gonna zoom in like this, but look for yourself. Now, comment below at the beginning of the video of this particular channel, this TikToker, I made a ghost walk by the mirror before his ghost even walked by the mirror. How many of y'all caught that? It's like in the very first few seconds of the clip when I show it, right after the intro. Comment below if you caught that. But let me show you how it should look when you do this. Now, I'm by no means like somebody that's good at CGI and visual effects, but over the last 4 years, I've had to teach myself. And, well, take a look at
It ain't perfect, but it's better than his.
So I zoomed in on my version as well, and as you can see, it hits the top of it fits in the mirror better than his does. And the reason is, I used green screen.
Now keep in mind, I did mine in like 20 minutes. It doesn't take a lot of people think, oh, that's awful hard to animate. No, somebody like me can do it, anybody can. And if somebody like me can do it better, then not that much effort, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what I did find interesting about their video though, this particular TikTok, well, the only thing that I found interesting was the elephant.
But here's my green screen. I cut it out and put it in the mirror.
As we transition to Really Not Haunted, the biggest false copyright claimers on the planet, in this video I have intentionally left a lot of the sound and everything out. I've mirrored the image, that way everything has changed. So I'm supposed to not be able to be copyright claimed, but it's gonna happen. Just facts. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's take a look at Lee, because today we're hanging out with the man.
Hey guys, hope you're all well. I'm finally out in the caravan tonight. The roof, it's like the one at Cats, because we've got, like where I'm sat here.
Boogity boogity a boo. Is that you, Vlad?
So you really think you're talking to Vlad the Impaler?
I'm going to stop you, Vlad.
Oh no, it burns.
Directly behind me.
Right, we gonna have 10 minutes on necrophonics. If anybody else uses this, I'll probably just get my head down.
All videos of Lee here, he tends to blab and, you know, run that trap a lot to pad the runtime of the video. You know, you're watching in 15 minutes of him just sitting around in his little underwires, okay? And he just sits around, t-shirt and underwear, you know, where in fact, I guarantee you he edits in that barefooted underwear t-shirt. And just sit, you know, you have to sit there 15, 20 minutes of just hearing him talk before he finally shows you the paranormal footage. This amazing paranormal footage, you know. It's not, it ain't just, you know, aliens and portals and, you know, different dimensions, demons, poltergeists. It's not just that. No. His biggest thing, besides his little orbs, are his shadow figures. And these are lovely. Oh yeah, I forgot. You also got to sit there and watch him lay there in bed as well. He's pretty much showing you what he does and what he has done his whole YouTube, probably his whole life, is I would be hard pressed. You know, I'd bet that this man has never worked a day in his life as far as labor, like real work, like blisters, hands, you know, calluses. A good day's work, guarantee you he hasn't. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Look at these shadow figures. Catches two of them right outside his little RV. Now, I wanted you to watch this particular whole clip with no sound, YouTube, because I want to break down each shadow figure individually. And we're going to start by doing the whole clip, and then we're going to zoom in, brighten it up, do contrast, mess with the settings. You know how we do it on this channel.
Now, before we zoom in on these figures, let's watch one more time. First off, there's a lot of mist around, so when these shadow figures form, they shouldn't be that dark. But as we can see, you can see the mist rolling in all over the place. But then when the shadow figures reveal themselves, especially the one over at the front door there, look at that. They're too dark. That mist should be covering them a lot more than that. They should not be that dark. Then you got them, dancing all over the yard and, wreaking havoc. Yet they move nothing. Or do they? As we will discuss further into the video. But the figures shouldn't be that dark, and we're going to examine it.
First thing people got to realize, especially if you're doing special effects or anything like that, is your environment. It's very important. And what I mean by that is, for instance, if it's raining outside, right, and you're going to CGI a monster outside, and it's raining, you got to put the monster in its environment. The rain's got to be all around the monster, all around it perfectly, to show that it's in the environment. These aren't like that. You can see the mist acts differently on his figures. His figures are really dark, and the mist should really dilute the darkness on them. And I'm going to show you after we zoom in what I mean by it.
Now, I zoomed really good, brightened the image, did a little contrast work on the image at the door, right here. Now, depending on if the figure's supposed to be in the house or out of the house, if you look at the door frame, it has to be the outside of the house, so I don't know what he's trying to say here. So, let's look at it this way. You see the edges of the door right here, and you can see the shadow bleeds over onto the edges of the door, which means it should be on the outside of the house, obviously, but I don't know what he's trying to say here. But when you look at it, you can just tell it's fake. I mean, you can see the mist all around this object, yet it doesn't react to it much.
Just showed you the shadow figure that's closest to the doorway, the one that's further back, and I zoomed in on it a lot. You can see the mist all around it. Now, I don't know if it's meant to be on the inside of the house or like, standing outside at the door. Now, if it's meant to be on the inside of the house, he messed up because the shadows bleed on both sides of the door frame and you can see them overlaid over it. So that's impossible. It would be if it was on the inside, but if it's on the outside, okay, that's all right. But I did a little test to show you what I mean. I made some overlays, and they're not that fancy. But what I did 2 or 3 different things to where the first one is a solid overlay with me not messing with it to show you just how bad it looks. And then I slowly start to overlay another complete still image, or not still image, but overlay 2 of the same shots, and then turn the opacity down to bring that fog or mist on both sides.
I wanted to show you what opacity can do. You see this object, you can 100% see that it doesn't belong there because it's not see-through, you can't see the mist. But when you change the opacity, now take a look. Now, even though I didn't put mist on both sides, you can see the mist, and it kind of looks like it's on both sides, which it's not. But then, what I did was I put it on both sides. I overlaid a secondary same footage, and then I changed the opacity. And as you can tell, it kind of looks like it's more into the environment. Now, keep in mind, this took me 5 minutes. But when the shadow figure forms, look right here at the mist. You can see something blocking it. You can see like an invisible force field kind of thing all the way around the figure, which shows this thing is not natural to this area. It's added in post.
As we zoom in closer to the closest shadow figure to the camera, I also noticed this. I call this lag lines. It's when you're putting your overlay behind something. Like, for instance, whatever that big wooden thing is at the bottom, let's just call it a porch, wall, whatever. It's behind it, which means part of it's going to be cut off by this thing that's in front of it. But you can see these dark lines as it moves. These dark lines that slowly follow. Shouldn't be there. Makes no sense.
And take a look right here. Watch as the figure moves. You can see a black line that follows the figure. It shouldn't be there. It should follow the figure if it was a shadow, but it lags. Why is that? That's a hard line, which means it's an overlay.
Of course, somebody could say, oh, it's compression or whatever. Maybe it is. But it stood out to me. Now, also, I noticed, and I'm going to show you this clip as well. I want you to look at this clip. It is a sofa or a couch, outside couch, whatever. It's got two pillows, 2 or 3 white pillows on it. And it's just sitting out there. And I want you to look at it.
We have the back of the chair, the couch, and the wall. And it should be right in that area right there. Now, watch what happens after all the paranormal happens and he walks outside his camper.
Mist is coming down. That is creepy. I'm going to assume that's just been moved.
Oh, Lee, my boy, you just want to assume it's just being moved? Alright, let's take a look at right when the shadow figure disappears, because the shadow figure didn't do it, because that couch was still up when the shadow figure disappeared. So it's not the one that done it. Let's look at that clip.
Let's watch the figure disappear. Now you'll see the figure vanish, and then you'll see the couch still over there. It doesn't look like it's turned over to me. Now comment below what you guys think. Either this could be a continuity error, or maybe I'm just looking wrong.
Could it be a continuity error? Huh? No, he would just say, oh yeah, well, we didn't catch the shadow figure flipping it. But it happened after it disappeared, because the shadow figure came back in a split second and done it. We'll show the footage, Lee, if it did that. See what I deal with? Yeah, these lights are cool little lights here. Bought quite a few of them thanks to you guys. You guys have bought every bit of this. These lights are amazing. And the secret word is ladder. You know, like a ladder you get on a roof with. Now, I appreciate you guys. Got a lot of good content coming your way. Really good ones. And I'm pretty pumped. Man, I really do appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. The support has been, that's why, even though I know this video is going to be demonetized, I don't care. I mean, a lot of you guys asked for it, and that's what I do. I love you guys, and I appreciate you, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. And you know what you're going to do? You guys, y'all going to come back now. You hear?